I started recording.
I've also started recording.
All right.
Clap sync.
Yep.
1, 2,
3.
3.
And we're back.
And we're back. And we're back. So
How was your weekend, Juju?
it's currently happening.
Yeah.
It's been very tiring. So I had a 5.5 hour shoot for a video project today in a garage. That was fun. And then tomorrow we're going to the beach to film another scene. So
How much of it have you guys finished?
we finished at least half of it. Our friend checked out all of the film cameras, so we're going through that process of having the boom mic and stage light. And he was he was shooting in 8K, so he could zoom in later. But it's gonna end up being 100 gigs, I swear.
More than that, easily.
Yeah. He said when he films sports, because he films them for just 2 hours straight. One time he filmed the football game, and it ended up being 195 when all was said and done.
Jeez.
So, yeah. And then that's for the ITV program where he ends up using 5 seconds for a highlight.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. But I don't know, how was your weekend? You were at the party?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yesterday, so I had a blood test thing because, well, a while ago, after tennis, right under my eye. I mean, you and pretty much everyone else on our friend groups noticed I developed a little white spot. It's kind of gotten worse from the sun, so I need to go to the doctor about that. And it turned out I was missing a few a meningitis vaccine, and I needed to get a blood test. So I ended up leaving sixth period thinking that I'd be back for tennis, but I was just out for a while, and by the time it was all said and done, it would have been an hour until sports started, so I just got to skip tennis for a day.
Nice.
But the one thing is that a friend of mine named Alex in English class, basically he has this fidget ring which you can kind of spin, which has I don't know how to really describe it, but it's a silver ring that has a black kind of line through it that you can spin around, and it's kind of just satisfying. So during English class, I always steal it from him and then spin it. So I was wearing it when I left, and now I just have it, even though it's not mine, because I accidentally stole it from him.
Bruh.
And I remember when I was at the doctor's, I got a phone call, and he's like, "You took my ring, bro." I'm sorry, we can give it back on Monday.
That's yeah. So we've been posting Polaroids.
Yeah. Well, we posted one so far.
Recently.
By the time this one comes out, we'll post 2 on Instagram.
Yes.
And the main reason we did it is because, so I've kind of started this mini project, which a little while back I got a Polaroid camera, and every month until I graduate high school, I am gonna post 10 Polaroids, and it kind of goes into the whole idea of being able to kind of time capsule your areas, because the one thing I think we've kind of figured out from this is that we don't remember a lot of what we have done throughout high school. So much of these conversations has been us talking about random stuff, and then all of a sudden just thinking of some event that happened, some really big funny event that happened when we were early freshman year, end of 8th grade.
Yeah. That's, I don't know. It kind of just when you're recording it, you just think of these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, so you're taking, wait, how many every day?
Oh, so 10 a month. I'm obviously going to take
10
more, but
10 a month, 10 a month, yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
have a decent amount so far. But the thing is, Polaroid film is so expensive. It, hurts my soul.
How many, okay, it's, what, 60 cents?
65 cents each for each Polaroid.
Yeah.
For the
Oh
amount
my
that I bought
God.
them. And I bought, I managed to buy it for, cheaper than what it normally is.
And wait, what'd you buy the camera for?
The camera, I think I bought it for, 65.
So the slope of your, okay, so it's y equals 78x
What?
plus
if you're doing the math for it, it's y equals 0.65x plus
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about a
65.
year. I'm talking a year. Y equals 78x plus 60, or whatever. How much would you bought the camera for?
What are you saying?
For a year? No, for a year. Sorry, I'm just like, cause
Doing the
I don't
math,
know. I have
okay.
this. We have the end of course assessment coming up, and I was just thinking earlier today, like, what's stopping me from just leaving it blank?
That is true. Because I mean, it
It's
doesn't affect
so
our grades.
exactly. It's not. It doesn't affect you like at all. It's
Well,
literally just
it
like a
affects
state.
it affects your standing if you're trying to like move into enhanced math, I think.
I'm not, and I think you can't. You have to do a bridge course.
Yeah, I think you do.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to. So, literally, it's just for the state to see if all the students are learning equally, kind of thing.
Dude, our teacher told us that the average for our end of course exam was a 35%
Damn.
district wide
Wait,
for enhanced math 3.
wait, district wise?
Yeah, enhanced math 3.
Oh, I don't want to go on too much of a tangent, but speaking of our did you hear about the Portola stuff?
No, not much. Why? Please tell. Oh, wait, the like
yeah,
doping thing. Oh yeah.
the coach.
Okay,
yeah,
no, let's go.
So at a high school in our district, a coach was recently fired, arrested because he was supplying football players with Adderall, basically. So I think they got a lot of football awards revoked from this year. And I don't know, man. It's
Well, that's like crazy. It's like out of like 13 reasons why
the
kind of stuff.
the school that's extremely rich and is constantly trying to be the best is doping their athletes. That's shocking.
Yeah. How much would Adderall help when you? It just like. Because Adderall mainly, it kind of just makes you bounce off the walls, I guess.
Yeah, I think it could be because in a football game, especially on the high school level, a lot of times players will play offense, defense, and special teams. So they're literally like never off the field unless they get subbed in for a couple plays.
So it keeps them going.
They get tired pretty easily. So if they have a way to like stay up, then like especially if you have a star player, you want them for the entire game.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Well, that's insane to me. That's like so close to us, and we've literally had
Exactly.
matches. We were there at the football game with like us against them, and we beat them.
That was such a fun football game.
Imagine if
yeah.
the only reason they were close to beating us was because of the Adderall. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, my friend who's in the video production was telling me that Portola always wins like district awards because their budget is literally like 3 times the size of everyone else's because of how much money they have. It's just I don't know. That's a whole thing.
Yeah, I think like at our school, football gets like 99% of the funding for basically anything.
Especially, yeah, I pity the people whose sports are the same season as football. Like they get scraps. Like the cross country buses are just like the really basic ones.
Yeah.
And also our like student section bought.
Oh
I don't
my
know
god,
what
that
budget
was
this
so
came up
funny.
with, but it was so like we had 2 games left in the season. At the second to last one, the other student section had this like fire extinguisher thing that would create like this like fog stuff. And
You're horrible at explaining it. It's basically like a massive kind of like it's not liquid nitrogen, but it's like this like
it's compressed air.
it's compressed air container that
yeah.
when you blow it out, you can basically just like see the steam kind of. So how much did we pay for it?
I doubt it's less than multiple thousands.
And we only used it for
pretty big.
one game too? Was it one?
It was one game.
It
It
was
was
last
literally
game?
the last game of the season, and because that game won us our league title, but that was such a boring game because it was just a 35-0 blowout.
I mean, to be fair, I think we're pretty lucky that we didn't get killed.
That's true. It would have been more fun if it was like close though.
Bro, I still don't understand football at all.
I'll explain
You've
it to you
attempted to
someday.
explain it to me so many times, and Oh,
We can do it on the podcast. I'll try to explain. I can have a MS Paint. We'll explain.
I'm just gonna see like the retention just drop the moment you start explaining football. Just slow bar down.
No, it's actually interesting. It's actually interesting. It's very dynamic, cause like you could look at it so simply, and still understand it, or you can look at it like super in depth. Like you could either just look at it, as a game where one team tries to move the ball down the field, and the other team tries to stop them, or you can go into depth with like all the different play calls, and defensive sets and stuff like that. So I don't know. It depends on how like complex you want to go with it. But I'll explain it to you one day.
One day it'll be like senior year final game.
It's not that hard to understand.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's
it
good
looks kind of confusing because there's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's easy to get a general idea.
But no. So we're gonna try. Okay, I know we've been saying this for like the past 5 months, but just like getting back on topic here, we're trying to record in person. That's another reason why we're doing these Polaroids.
So from now on,
Because
we're taking a
taking
Polaroid with every guest that comes on the podcast. So the last two have been both of us. Next guest that come on, you will see us take a Polaroid with them. And that's what we're posting on Instagram. Honestly, I think it's just kind of a cool thing, and we can probably like hang it in the back of wherever we end up recording.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's you date them, stuff like that. That's another sort of time capsule kind of thing.
yeah,
Just as a overarching
I think it's just cool.
project. Yeah.
It's something pretty fun.
Yeah.
It isn't like a ton of work, but just keeping the camera with you.
Yes.
Juju, when did you first get Instagram?
Oh, it was the same night as our like December concert in 7th grade.
I have no
I don't know. I
memory
remember
of this
like
concert.
so specifically. I don't. Yeah, of course. Like I don't remember the exact date or like what we played. I just remember like immediately after that concert in 7th grade, I got it, and like I asked my parents for permission. But like that reminds. So, my brother had got Instagram when he wasn't allowed. I think he got it when he was in like 6th grade, and he wasn't allowed to because he didn't ask permission. So he had the account for like 6 or 8 months, and then eventually he got found out because one of his friends like snitched on him to their parents, who told our parents, and then he got, oh my dude, I feel so bad for him because like I was kind of complicit in the entire thing. Like he had me take his profile picture for it, and I knew about it, but like I just remember just like quietly building Legos in my room while just hearing him downstairs getting yelled at for like 2 hours.
I feel like there's been a few moments like that when I was like in elementary school. My brother getting yelled at for like him doing something in
Exactly.
high school. When
He's but yeah, he's
oh shit!
he's
Today's
gonna be
prom.
gone soon.
Today's prom.
What? Oh yeah, he's there right
Yeah.
now.
Oh yeah. I completely forgot. I'm not gonna lie. I completely forgot juniors could go to prom at our school.
I thought
Like-
thought that they had like their own
Yeah,
prom.
I thought
Like,
that
they had
too.
a
Then I
different-
realized that I'm friends with the person who's junior class president, and he's the one who plans prom.
Yeah.
So
There's like I thought, yeah, because I thought there was junior prom and prom. Maybe it's like that at different schools, but at our school it's just prom.
yeah.
Yeah. Where did the name prom come from?
Actually, that's a good question. How would you even describe prom to like someone who doesn't know what it is or is from like somewhere else?
I guess you would say that it's like the main dance for graduating. Well, not even graduating because
Because juniors can go, yeah.
Okay, for upperclassmen, it's like the main dance at the end of the year for them to go to.
And they pay like a ton of money to go there.
And they pay a ton of money. Yeah, like they, my brother took like our grandpa's Lexus to pick his girlfriend up because he didn't want to pick her up in like a 2001 Toyota Rav.
What an upgrade!
But like yeah,
what
and
an upgrade!
you have to buy the you have to buy
Class.
the corsage, rent out a suit if you don't have one, and then you have to pay for the actual ticket, which is like $100 or something. Isn't it? Is it that much? I don't know.
How would I know? You're the one with the older brother.
Well, I didn't ask him. I mean, the ticket might or might not be worth it. Like, wasn't the food at Winter Formal just like worse than school lunch?
Oh my god! Well, I mean, I think it was a bit worse for me because the only option that I was able to eat there was mac and cheese. Unless I wanted to have like a
Yeah, I saw
burger with
pictures of
cheese.
that. It did not look good.
Yeah, you showed up to Winter Formal though without
I
buying a
did.
ticket. You just showed up to the park, which I find
Yeah,
hilarious.
and then I just left before the dance.
Yeah. Honestly, that was the play.
That was the play. I could have stayed after. I could have gotten into it because you were told like at the very start of the dance, like there was no
Dude,
one.
I was telling you, like we had a full plan to sneak in Juju into the Winter Formal school dance.
I had already left at that
But
point.
yeah.
Um, and I feel like when I got home, I was like, shit. Like if I had stayed, then I probably could have gotten a ride. But at that point, it would have been too late because the park was closing soon.
Yeah.
And it was it's kind of sad because we used to be able to rent out the entirety
of Knott's Berry Farm.
Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park. This theme park. We used to be able to rent it out, but they just stopped the theme. They stopped letting us do it because it wasn't profitable for them.
Yeah, that would have been so cool if we were able to have the park to ourselves. But I mean, in the early hours, we got there like right when the park opened, so our group was able to go on a ton of rides pretty quickly. But as soon as like it kind of got to midday and like everyone kind of started showing up, the lines were insane. But I think we got a lot more lucky than some other kids who had like pretty botched winter formals that definitely weren't that fun.
But that was I wish I had I didn't go to homecoming. That looked kind of fun.
Homecoming was an experience. I'll say that. It was fun, but it was outdoors, which kind of helped kill the vibe. Because it's like
Yeah.
a wide open space, and you just have like a crowd of like a small group of people jumping up and down.
There's also houses like really close by.
Yeah, I think we already
Like,
talked
there's
about this, but the next door thing was so funny.
Oh yeah.
Where there was a parent who
He's,
complained about the noise, and like called
And
the
then
police.
she thought like it was some like random kids.
Yeah, partying.
It's so yeah.
What is it?
I don't know. I feel bad. I feel like
Yeah.
our city is just like 70-year-old white retirees, or just UCI students.
I feel
and
like
those,
you're
the
not
only two
wrong.
groups of people.
You're definitely not wrong.
Yeah. You get a lot of or like oh no like or like really rich like Asian like business people who own properties in the fucking like I don't know boondocks.
What? No, but I think, oddly enough, like, Irvine is, when you search it up, like, anywhere, it's, like, rated, like, 9th or 8th, like, most, like, happy city in the world. Which is pretty interesting, considering some of the stuff that goes on here.
You know, we used to be like the safest city in California.
Until there was, like, a
But then,
homicide
like-
last year or something.
Yeah, there was like a homicide last year. There was a school shooting, or well, there was a shooting near a school a couple years ago. And just this morning, a CVS like really close to our school was robbed.
I think that's pretty tame
Like-
compared to some other stuff that's happened.
Yeah, I know. Of course, if you go to Fremont, California, or
Fremont.
Santa Ana, you have some different things. But
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't say we're the safest city anymore.
No. But I think this is a very safe area. I think the one thing that's nice about Irvine, I would say, is that very high Asian population.
That was, cause it's not as high as you would think. So can you like guess like the percentage?
From our high school, it's over
No, just like the city.
the city itself. The city itself, I would say, like 30 to 40%.
I think that's pretty spot on.
For our high school, though, it's like probably 60 to 70%.
Yeah.
Which means you get a lot of kids who are breaking the stereotype of Asians being smart. Which is pretty funny.
And you get a lot of competition because, you know, some colleges, they're like, you know, they only accept a certain amount of people from a certain area.
Yeah. I think...
And especially, you know, with the whole UCs and their very inclusive race policies on admissions, That's a whole nother layer of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, how are you treated as if because you're half white, half Asian? That's so
Well,
interesting.
I think
Are
it's
are you
the
are you
thing.
like best
Krista,
of both worlds for them? Like they
mm,
get both halves. Like
what do you
inclusivity.
mean? Just in general, like Wasians in general, or me personally?
I mean, Asians in general. I mean, like you yourself. Like when someone looks at you, you don't look Korean at all.
Yeah, that is, I. That's the thing, because you look at me and like obviously like I'm not. Well, if I take off my glasses, it kind of makes more sense, because I don't know when I wear my most of the Asian went to the eyes, and I I don't think I think like literally one person in my entire life has ever identified me as half Asian. Like I'm not even joking. Everyone always thinks I'm white until like I show them a family photo or my mom like subs for them at school.
Yeah, when your mom subbed for us, I didn't know she was your mom.
Yeah, I was like someone in music class was like, "Yeah, I didn't believe you're Korean until your mom subbed." And I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense." I used to like hate the fact that I was like half,
Really?
like half each. Yeah, before I sort of like kind of just accepted it, I was like, I kind of just want to be like one, just like commit to one or the other. But I feel like at this point it's best of both worlds because I get to claim oppression, but also benefit from white privilege.
Oh my
So
god.
you get two sides to it. It's two sides to a coin, and it's the two sides to my life. So that's really good.
You remind me of
Anyway.
like, do you know who Kelly Wakasa is?
No,
Oh, he's like this YouTuber who's like half Japanese. And him, do you know who Elliot Choi is?
I think I do.
He's like he made vlog in college. He makes like stuff like in New York now. They have like kind of creator house thing in New York City. It's kind of weird, but that dude is half or yeah, I think he's like half Japanese, but you can't tell at all from his mannerisms and stuff. And he's made a few like really funny videos where it's like I spent like I remember one of them was like I had a sleepover with Asians and everyone immediately thinks like he's super racist because he makes like a bunch of jokes in the beginning and then at the end he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm half Japanese." And like shows a photo of his dad.
Pulled out the fucking ancestry.com genealogy.
You know, like
Genealogy.
Ancestry.com, like it's like really bad for. It's really good for if you're European, but it's really inaccurate for if you're like Asian.
Really?
Yeah.
That. Wait, are you sure? That's crazy. You know why that? Okay, that. I don't know what the science they use for it, but I know a lot of Korean families who like literally have like books and books of records tracing their generations and like family trees.
Yeah. No, that
I
definitely
don't know.
happens throughout Asia. Like that's in India too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know a lot of Korean people who do that. Definitely, obviously you. So that's kind of weird that they don't really connect with that.
Yeah, I remember there was shoot, I forgot what the actor's name was. I know oh, Arden Cho. I think she was like dating Ryan Higa or something a while back. But Ryan Higa's podcast. When we started making this, I started listening to a lot more podcasts. And Ryan Higa's podcast, he stopped making a while back, but that's like really good listen. But basically, she was talking about how for like different like Asian roles, some people want like even if you're like, for example, Korean, if you're playing like a Japanese character, they won't cast anyone who's not like specifically Japanese. Like they won't cast anyone who's any other kind of Asian. So for like a few of her
Oh,
roles, she had to get like ancestry DNA test to prove to them that she's like half Korean or half some ethnicity. And she took 3 tests, and all 3 of them had completely different results.
bruh.
So
Wait, with like different, like the same like site or like different, different organizations.
different organizations.
Damn.
So yeah, your life might be a lie. It'd be so funny if you got
I
an
don't know,
ancestry
we'll see.
DNA test and it told you that you were like 80% white.
That could honestly,
Like
I
20%
don't know.
Korean.
That my mom like really likes to claim that her side of the family is 100% Korean because they have their records that show that Like, my dad is the first white person or non-Korean person in their family history. I don't know if that's accurate. I feel like, some percent of another Asian has gone in there.
Yeah. Well, at one point, do you think there becomes a separation between ethnicity and nationality?
Um, I think, you know what? Okay, I think, what do you mean by that?
So what I mean is that you might have, let's say you have someone who was born in Italy, lived there till they were one, moved to America, and lived in America for 30 years. Does that person
Yeah.
consider themselves Italian or American?
I think at that point you're Italian American.
At that
Italian
point,
dash
at
American.
that point, your ethnicity is Italian, but your nationality might be American because you've,
Yes. Your heritage is also still Italian.
yeah,
But yeah, your national, yeah. Because also, like, if you, like, I'm not gonna say, like, I only lived in LA for like 3 years. I wouldn't say that I'm like I live in LA now, or like I'm a citizen of LA because I don't live there. And like you wouldn't say that you're a citizen of Anaheim because you haven't been there, right?
but I feel like cities and nations are, it's like
Yeah, I know.
a
I'm
pretty
just
big,
it's like a different like small like example because like I definitely know people from like Riverside who say they're from LA.
Whenever like I'm like out of state and anyone asks where I am, I just say I'm from LA. Like that's like the easiest way out
Yeah,
of the
honestly,
conversation.
if you're talking to someone like if you're talking to someone out of state, then that's like better because like if you live in I don't know like Oakland, it would be easier to say you live in San Francisco than explain to them that you live in a city in the Bay Area that isn't.
Yeah. I remember a long time. I think I was 6 years old, so like 10 years ago. My family went on a like short cruise to the Bahamas, and my dad was talking to. Have you ever been on a cruise ship?
No, I I think I was going to in the summer where like we had planned for it this summer, but then COVID sort of happened.
Okay. Well, basically, on cruise ships, anyone who's been on a cruise ship knows that like there's a section where you can just buy products and they're super expensive. They're from like luxury brands, and because like they're the only ones on board, everything is extremely expensive. So see like GoPros for like $700 that are normally like 200 or 300, and where there's some like watch salesman and like my family was walking down and my dad started talking to the guy. The guy is like, "Oh, so where are you guys from?" My dad's like, "Oh, the U.S." He's like, "Where in the U.S.?" My dad's like, "California." He's like, "Where in California?" My dad's like, "Northern California," or like Southern California, sorry. And he's like, "Where in Southern California?" My dad's like, "Oh, L.A. area." And he just kept asking closer and closer to where we were living. And I just remember being such like a confused 6-year-old. It was like my dad was getting increasingly uncomfortable in this like social situation.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go on a cruise at this point. It's like, isn't it like a just a melting pot for just disease to spread? I don't know. That's what I've heard. Because you're trapped and you're isolated with people, so sickness just like spreads very fast.
Yeah. For me, I remember them being really fun. But I've been on like two. One was like super short. It was like 2 days. The other was pretty long, but it was kind of random. It was in Alaska. It's like a glacier cruise. It was
Oh, I would want to go on an Alaskan. I would rather go on an Alaskan cruise than like Caribbean.
really.
Yeah, I think I would, cause like I don't know. We could talk about. I don't know if I want to get into this, but I think I like the vibe of like a pine forest with mountains better than like a beach.
To your personality, I think that makes sense. I mean, like we've had conversation of you talking about like what field you want to go into, which is like
Yeah,
you know, it's like
National
a,
Park Service. I
yeah.
would want to be at Glacier National Park, ideally. Well, actually, ideally Zion. However, it's pretty isolated. The nearest city per se is this place called Springdale, which is nice, but it's small, not really much to do around. So there is that.
I think that'd be like I think you'd really enjoy that. The only issue I can see is very isolating, right?
That's what. Yeah. So I was looking at because it takes it's there's some internal issues with the NPS. Sexism is like huge. So there is that, and I don't think that's resolving itself anytime soon, considering how it's very traditionalist. But another thing is just you're so isolated from the rest of the world that you have to drive like hours and hours just to get to another city. Unless, did you know the St. Louis Arch?
Yes.
That's a national park.
That is?
Yeah, so it used to be a part of like the national monument system, and I don't know why they changed it, but it's now a national park. So
It's
I
kinda
guess if
weird.
you want to be a national parks ranger in St. Louis, you could do that.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, it's just like a massive like metal arch. That's interesting. I remember
It's
when my
how you get up there.
oh yeah, sorry.
You get up there. You sit in like an elevator that like looks like it's like an egg, and then you travel up, and it's actually kind of scary because like there's windows, and you don't see outside. You just see like the weird like metal and like pipes and electronics and stuff, and like different like pulleys and stuff for the elevators. It's kind of weird. Like I don't know why they even put those windows there if you don't even see the outside as you're going up. And then the actual art, like once you're up there, it's very cramped.
Well, I can imagine it probably wasn't built to like only
Yeah,
house people, right?
I was there in St. Louis because my like relatives there at the time, and then we were there in whenever the solar eclipse was happening in 2017, and then we got to like see it in totality, and then people in like they would go up in the St. Louis Arch, and then they could see it, which would also have been cool. But yeah, I sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you earlier. What were you gonna say?
I'm not gonna lie, I've completely forgotten.
I hate when that happens. Cause like you think about it, and yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It's hard not to cut each other off when we're like this. Like,
it
trust
really
me,
that
we
and
love
that's
each
why
other.
we're going in person.
Yes, we're. Trust me, we love each other. We're not cutting each other off. It's just tough. I don't know. I think it's been a draining weekend. The one thing I've been struggling with a lot lately is sleep. Like, I think I've been showing you guys, but it's been bad.
Yeah. I'm dude. I gotta go to sleep earlier tonight. Cause we're shooting at the beach tomorrow at like 6 a.m. Cause we want to get there before everybody else does. So I should be going to bed soon. But like, damn.
Yeah.
Gotta cat. It's almost summer. Hey, let's just look forward. It's almost summer.
It's almost summer, so that just means like ACT prep. But yes.
Yes. Oh, another thing about summer. Jesus, this is kind of okay. Well, I can't really be mad about this, but signing up for physics over the summer, so you don't have to do it in the regular year. Like 80% of the people who applied for it got waitlisted, when normally everyone who applies for it can just basically just get in. So.
And to further clarify, at Irvine High School, it is a requirement that you take physics before you can take any AP science class. So
Which is really annoying.
no AP Bio, no AP Chem, no AP
Marine.
Yeah, Envio. No.
Marine.
Yep, no AP
It's
Marine.
weird. We have a AP Marine Science class now. Like I didn't even know that was a thing.
Neither did I.
So specific.
But it kind of screws everyone over who wants to take an AP Science class their junior year. So everyone just has to find another way of taking it because it was a complete lottery system for if you were going to get into class.
Yeah.
I know like 2 people who got in and about 10 who got rejected. So it was definitely tough this year.
I can't really get mad about it because I applied after the due date, so I would have been waitlisted anyway. But like, yeah, that's messed up.
It's just your stupidity.
Now a ton of people's plans are just completely screwed. Because now, if they're planning on taking like bio and environmental science, like they would have to choose between one of them.
Yeah, because you'd only be able to take it your senior year. Which very much sucks. But, we're trying to figure out workarounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's been raining lately.
What?
Huh? No, I just said it's been like draining lately.
Yeah. We're getting to that point where it's like you're
Sophomore-itis.
either yeah.
Once you're done with the
No,
year.
I think it's like you're either at the point where it's like you're excited that there's only less than a month left of school, or you're at the point where it's like we've been doing this for so long and we're still not done yet, and like you just want to give up. And I'm I'm at that point right now. So
We'll
like
make it through.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got we got one long weekend, one more day off, and that's Memorial Day. And if we want to wrap this up here, that's a transition into our final segment. What are you guys what are you excited about, Rishabh?
For what?
Just in general, man. Like,
Just in
like,
general?
what are you excited? Yeah, just like anything.
Honestly,
It's just like the open talk, man. Just like talk about
honestly,
something
this
you're
Polaroid
currently
stuff has gotten me really excited lately. I know it might like kind of seem like random and like small, but I think I think it's really cool having only one shot to get something, and it's really interesting because on a normal camera, you got to figure out ISO, exposure, aperture, basically everything. But when you have a Polaroid camera, exposure is set for you. You just gotta click and then understand your lighting and hope it works out.
Yeah. It's I love Polaroid so much. I used to have a Polaroid camera. I took a Polaroid camera to outdoor ed, and I don't know, they're so fun because you just like get it instantly and it looks good.
Yeah. And I'm so sad that we might post the failed version, but basically,
Oh no.
so earlier this week, I don't know this guy's name, but he's really chill. I don't know if he's like a teacher, but it was just basically a guy in a suit, or like a button-up shirt, sitting in an Irvine High golf cart, on top of like this like grass hill, right next to where we eat lunch. Irvine High is really weird the way it's situated, but basically we went up to the guy and we're like, hey, can you let us sit in the golf cart and just take a Polaroid of us for one of our podcast thing? And immediately he was like so confused on why two random teenagers, one of which he probably assumed I was a 12-year-old, were doing asking him to like take a photo. And immediately after he like clicked to take the photo, he sees like the Polaroid pop out. It's like, wait, is this a Polaroid camera? And then he asked me if we're like living in the 80s. And the one mistake that we made was that we got like a pretty good photo in the golf cart, but when you take a Polaroid, you need to make sure it isn't facing the sun when developing. Me being pretty stupid, I just stood out there in the sun, so the entire thing got overexposed, and you can pretty much see my blue hoodie and Juju's red sweater, and that's it. And the rest are just like whited out.
Yeah, that sucks because that would have been such a good picture to just be in the golf cart. Because he was so chill about it too. Like, he was like he obviously just kind of wanted to sit down, and we were just like, or like, he was like, sure, I don't see a problem in that.
Yeah, he's like, just
And
don't drive it away.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. I've literally never seen him on campus before.
But
he's
chill.
He's good. He's chill. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to call it.
Yep. Oh, real quick, I'm excited about.
Oh yeah, what are you excited about?
Memorial Day weekend, I'm going to the Northeast.
Yo.
To watch the NCAA lacrosse finals. So looking forward to that. But again,
Is it you and your lacrosse team, or is it
Instagram-
just you?
It's just me and my dad, because like we were able to get the tickets, so might as well go, and we have like the Memorial Day off.
Yeah, makes
So,
sense.
As usual, the Instagram is 3.4.Asian. The TikTok is 3/4Asian. The YouTube and Spotify is 3/4Asian, the fraction way. And with that, good night, and I love you.
Love you too.